Action!
Hello and welcome to the fourth installment of the Barrels video updates. It's officially fall now. The air is crisp, the leaves are falling, the apples are in. But all the great produce hasn't just turned to root crops yet. So to give you a quick brief tour through the market today, we'll start with these lovely tomatoes from Snake Root Farm. This is your last opportunity to can your tomato sauce for the winter. It's quite simple. You just cut off the tops, chop the tomatoes into tiny little bits, put them in a pan, a pot, cook them down until pretty much all the water's gone and it's a nice thick sauce. Put your mason jars on the counter after sterilizing them, fill them up, put the caps on, let them cool, they seal, you got tomato sauce for the winter. We have apples and apples. Our apple delivery hasn't come in quite yet today, so we're a little light here, but we're in the thick of it now. We're probably carrying about 10 to 12 varieties depending on the day. And just a reminder, Harvest Fest is coming up and we're having an apple pie and dessert cook-off. So you can come in and we'll give you some advice about what apples to pick and give you some ideas of possibly what you might want to enter into the cook-off in 2 weeks. Like I said, still great stuff here from more of the summer-oriented crops. We have our green peppers, our red peppers, our squash. Still time to make that awesome pasta sauce, and I'm going to dance around maple for a second here. Winter squash season. It's awesome. This is fun. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the different kinds of squash and maybe what you could do with them. To start here, this is a delicata squash. Easiest thing to do with it is cut it straight in half, open up the halves, scrape out the seeds. You put a little Maine maple syrup, a little salt, a little sugar, butter, whatever you like in there, or just nothing. Pop it in the oven on about 375 for about 40 minutes, and then you can just eat it out with a spoon. It's awesome. Pie pumpkins. Apparently there was a pumpkin shortage last year, so you can't find canned pumpkin at the supermarket. It's time to start experimenting with pie pumpkins. Cut these up into bits. You either throw them in boiling water or bake them in the oven for about a half hour. Scrape them out of the skins, and it's a wicked easy fresh pie recipe. This is a spaghetti squash, a favorite of the kids often. Same thing, cut it in half, bake it or boil it for about a half hour, and then you take a fork and gently scrape out the insides and it comes out just like spaghetti. It's amazing. Perhaps Maine's favorite winter squash. Winter squashes differ primarily in their water content. This is a buttercup. The buttercups are slightly drier, still wicked sweet, but experiment with this, chop it up, bake it, whatever you need to do. Acorn squash, you probably are all familiar with these. Perfect meal size. You just cut it in half again, scrape out the seeds, throw it in the oven. Butternut has a higher water content, so this is often best in soups. A lot of people make butternut soup where you can use the skin, you just chop it right up, saute it with some onions in a soup pot, and then just add a bunch of liquid, add some broth if you need to. And wow, holy cow, we have sweet potatoes. Just in the past few years I've found some farmers that are actually growing sweet potatoes in Maine. It's usually thought of as a warm weather crop, but they're doing it and we've got them. We only have a few left at $3 a pound, but come and get them while we have them. Coming over here, holy cow, what is that? Pumpkin pie soda. What will the fine folks at Maine Root think of next? It's a seasonal thing, so come in while we still have it. Greens, greens, and more greens. In case you didn't hear me in the last video update, we have Swiss chard, we have spinach, we still have lettuce, we have broccoli rabe, we have mustard greens, we have celery. It's time to make your soups. It's time to, I can give you like a 2-minute meal idea. You buy a couple bags of spinach, you go home, you saute some onions, throw the spinach in for about 3 minutes, mix in some of this awesome cow cobble or goat cheese cobble from Kennebec Cheesery, and you have a nice creamy spinach thing. You can put it over eggs, put it over potatoes, have it as a side dish. It's awesome. And oh my God, what are these?
Hey everybody! I don't know if you've ever seen these alien looking vegetable, but this is Brussels sprouts on the stalk. They grow kind of like mini cabbages off the stalk. Pop them off, steam them for about 45 minutes, and you're good to go.
Maybe not quite 45 minutes, but 10 or so. 45 minutes and you'll probably have something that tastes like what you had from your childhood. But these are so fresh, just about 10 minutes and you'll have a nice sweet treat. All right, once you come in, don't forget, we have our college students and college professors back in town doing their work here. Chuck Lakin did an awesome job setting up this whole front coffee area. We're working on getting wireless in here, but you can still probably pick one up. Come in, have a cup of coffee, have a baked good, sit down, watch the goings on Main Street, and we'll see you soon. Come in and call us for questions.